Dreams can change the world. All of us have dreams. The trick is turning those dreams into a reality. Flying was once a dream. The Wright brothers, Wilbur and Orville, were dreamers big time. They turned their dreams of flying into a reality. We're going to meet a guy who in 1999 had a dream of building a flying replica of one of the most important aeroplanes ever, the Wright Flyer. This man who's turning his dreams into reality, Hayden. G'day Eric.
Brendan.
How you doing?
Pretty good, mate. Good to see you.
Can you tell us about what you're doing here?
Yeah, no problems. We're building a Model A biplane, Wright Brothers biplane.
This isn't the first aeroplane that ever flew, is it? It's a model a bit further on.
It's a Model A, which is the first practical aeroplane that ever flew. It's a two-seater, and it's practical. You can actually fly it around, do nice turns, and fly for sustained distances.
So you're building a flying replica that's actually going to go up into the air.
That's right. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it.
And it's going to be totally safe.
Totally safe. There's been a lot of lessons learned about flying in the last 100 years, and we plan not to make any of those mistakes.
How do you go about bringing a dream like this into reality?
Well, it started with trying to get hold of the plans for it. I finally found out that Short Brothers in Ireland had built 6 aircraft for the Wright Brothers under licence. They were the first aircraft manufacturers in the world. They had a factory, the Wright Brothers didn't. So they gave us copies of hand-drawn plans in the hand of Wilbur Wright, which were given to Horace Short in 1909 by Wilbur Wright. After that, I then approached Cole Pay, Sydney University, my father, John Edmonds. We've got a tremendous team. As I said, I couldn't do it myself. I needed people smarter than me all around me. Bill Whitney drew up the plans with all the data that came from Sydney University. Bill's one of the leading aeronautical engineers in the country, and he's done the Southern Cross replica, he's done the Vickers Vimy replica, he's done the Avro Avion replica, he's done 14 all up. Wind tunnel testing's been done by Sydney University. That would normally cost us $1,000 a day. We got it all for free. Cole Pay, who's our test pilot. He's also a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer.
Jack Garside's been incredibly helpful in raising the funds.
Jack's fantastic. Jack has a master's degree in business management and many years of experience.
So, was it true that this all started from a dream?
It did. I'd been reading up on the Wright brothers and woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't get the idea out of my mind, couldn't go back to sleep. I had trouble sleeping for days until I actually did something about it. And I'm still having trouble sleeping because we're getting close to completion, and we've got deadlines, of course.
Wow. So for you, when will your dream become a reality?
The day this takes to the air. Yeah. Well, here comes one of our shipwrights now.
G'day.
Brendan. Guy Pilkington.
Brendan, how are you?
Good guy, how you doing?
Good, mate.
So you're a shipwright, but you're building an aeroplane?
Yeah, that's right. I guess the reason we're chosen for this project is because we can build any given form or shape, and we work in curves a lot. What I've got here is a wingtip of the plane. As you can see, it's all curved. So this is a compound curve, this way round. And this way round, it's a convex curve. So the whole plane is actually all compound and convex curves, and it's all laminated up of thin strips of timber. If you can see them all here, with blue in between, and we lay them around a form which gives us the shape, and we clamp that up for 24 hours.
Excellent.
And the whole plane's basically all done like that.
Could you show me where you do it?
Sure, right this way.
Excellent.
Is this where we start from, Brendan? This is where all the cutting takes place. This is what the boards look like when we get them, except they're 5 metres long. And so we machine them all up so they've got nice smooth surfaces on them, and then we commence splitting. We turn it into these 1/4-inch strips, 3 1/8 strips and 3 32nd strips. That's what the whole plane's made of. And then we laminate them all back together again.
And this is all Sitka spruce?
Yeah, that's right.
And Yeah.
The Wright brothers made all their planes out of Sitka spruce.
As did Howard Hughes from the Spruce Goose.
That's right. Hence the spruce goose.
Yeah.
That's right. It was all made of Sitka spruce.
And it's incredibly expensive stuff, right?
Oh, that's right. It's the best timber to be used in aviation because it's got nice, long, tight grain, no knots, and it's very light. And it's very expensive, yeah. 23 boards to do this plane, all this dimension, was $16,000. So it's not cheap.
$16,000.
16 grand, yeah.
Wow.
So it's not cheap.
So where to from here after you've cut the wood?
We go back into the front rooms, and I will show you how we get all the shapes with all the formers and jigs and what have you.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll go out there again. Okay, Brendan, this is George Broadfoot.
Pleased to meet you, George.
Hi, Brendan.
The other boat builder on this.
So what are you doing here?
I'm making some foils.
Some foils, which
Foils. These make up the wing section.
are? Okay.
And what they actually are is just a completed foil here is we put the fabric over the top and the bottom, and this is what makes the aeroplane fly.
Wow. So this is now bent. How did you guys take the wood and bend it?
Okay. What we did was, I'll just clear this mould, and how we actually make these is we have a straight piece of timber, which we call a cap. And the cap goes through there on one side. We put our little compression blocks in them. These are compression blocks here. These are all laminated for these little compression blocks. On these marks here, we put our other bottom cap in, and we close the mould and lock it with our wedges. And every time we do this, I develop this system of being able to produce 3 airfoils at a time, whereas normally they only produce 1.
Right.
And this is cut 3 times, and it's left 24 hours with heaters, around about 25, 27 degrees, and it keeps its shape. And so that's basically the way this works.
Great. It's incredibly beautiful. It's like a work of art, really.
When it's finished, it's a shame to put the fabric over it.
This looks incredibly light. How do you know this is going to be safe?
Good question. The whole plane has to comply with CASA, so we've got to make up test pieces every time we make a component up, which I have out the back. If you'd like to come out, I'll show you how that works.
Thanks, George.
See.
Well, these are the CASA test pieces that look like little pegs. So every time we make a component up, as I said before for this plane, we have to make 2 of these up. And the whole idea of this is to check the glue line. So if it breaks on the glue line, I mean it's a bad join, but if the timber breaks, you can see how the timber's broken.
Yeah, right.
That's
okay.
a good glue join. All you actually do is put this in the jaw of a vise and put a spare one of these in here so it doesn't crush them that way, and then you hit the end of that with a hammer.
Oh, that's simple.
And after we've actually made the test pieces, we then come to the bookwork side of things. We date it, glue batch, room temperature, moisture content of the timber, and we number which board the items were made out of. We put the excess glue in this little container, we date it, the glue batch with the glue in it, as well as the little test pieces. Then everything goes into this plastic bag with a batch number, date, and that's the room temperature the glue was set at. They're all numbered so they know exactly where to find every component on the plane. So they could look at the bookwork, look at this drawing, and of course there'll be other drawings to the other components, and they'll know where everything exactly goes.
Strength here for the...
Eric?
Brendan, I'd like you to meet my father, Keith Hayden, secretary for the project.
Hi,
We've got
Brendan.
a few things to do, I'll leave you with it.
Pleased to meet you, Keith. Now you'll be rigging the plane.
Yes, when all the bits and pieces are finished, when the assembling of the wood here, it'll come to Narromine, and then all the pieces will be sorted and put. Then the big job will be to put it all together. The wing will have to be covered, and we make a big sock. We pull it over the wing, and then to tighten it, we sew every rib to the fabric. When we've got the struts in place, we use the diagonal bracing, which is here on this here, and the strength, actually the wood is very strong, but without this diagonal bracing it would sag and go down.
Did the Wright brothers use the same kind of bracing that you guys are using?
They had exactly the same bracing, but where we're using cable, they use piano wire. Now piano wire was sort of is a no-no because they had nothing else in those days, but we are using aircraft cable. We're using nothing else but aircraft type materials, like the nuts and bolts and split pins and so on, are all aircraft approved. The Wrights didn't have access, they didn't have any of those days, but we are using top stuff.
Thank you for explaining that, Keith.
Pleasure.
Hey, your dream's becoming a reality. How do you feel?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it's good to be getting close to completion.
So where to from here?
Well, an air show on the 17th of December, that's our goal for this, that's what we're aiming for. And then we pack it into a container and off to Northern Ireland to the Shorts factory to reassemble there. Then England. The grand plan is to fly across the English Channel and land at the middle of the Paris Air Show. There's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy to get through to make that happen, and then we plan to retrace the Wrights in Europe and fly in Italy and Germany. We have some contacts in the United States, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. They've placed me on their committee to stay in touch with what we're doing, and they've even offered assistance should we require to take this aeroplane to the States. So it's all very exciting and looking forward to it.
The only one thing I don't understand, where do I sit? I don't know where my place is.